It's time for a dose of fat loss motivation, and since I just finished listening to the audiobooks Never Finished by David Goggins and Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, figure we incorporate some inspiration from them in today's video. Now, David Goggins is an extreme dude, and I do find it fascinating that so many people celebrate his extremism, even when most of it is sending him to the hospital. Now, David is not my cup of tea, but there's still some valuable lessons we can learn from his experiences. Number one is that we are capable of achieving so much more than we think we can. Now, when your goal is fat loss, trying to get lean and stay lean, you don't have to take David's lead and starve yourself in order to lose the fat or run on broken legs in order to burn the fat off. But there is going to be some suffering involved when it comes to your nutrition. When you're in a calorie deficit, there's going to be moments where you're experiencing that hunger, and you do need to suffer a little bit through that hunger there. How are you going to work through that? How are you going to flip that switch in your mind in order to overcome those feelings of hunger? Some things that work for me is just getting out for a walk. If I'm experiencing some of that hunger, it may just be because I'm bored, or maybe I'm a little bit stressed. If I get outside for a walk, it calms me down. And there's just something about that activity that just decreases my appetite afterwards. And plus, I just forget about that feeling of hunger to begin with. Maybe you drink some water, maybe you have a couple pickles, maybe you chew some gum, but finding ways to overcome that hunger and kind of embrace that hunger in order to achieve your goal. Especially in the evening times, a lot of it is just kind of breaking out of your habits. If you're used to nighttime snacking, especially if you're sitting in front of the television, what can you do differently in order to overcome break free from that habit and establish new habits? For myself, doing a little bit of stretching or yoga in the evening, doing a little bit of reading, maybe watching a sunset out there, listening to a meditation audio, doing things to distract me from the norm that usually my snacking is attached to those activities. Try to mix things up, do different activities and not have snacking a part of that, and just embrace that feeling of going to bed feeling a little bit of hunger. To me, it's like a victory to be celebrated. All right, I'm going to bed, I'm feeling a little bit of hunger, I did my job for the day. I'm waking up feeling light and again a little bit hungry. That's my way of feeling like, all right, my body's burning fat at this moment. I'm in a fat burning furnace at this point. So little things to kind of embrace that little bit of suffering in order to achieve your goal. And in the weight room, that burning sensation, I talk about this all the time, just finding that next level with your training, finding what true momentary muscular failure is for you. I thought I was training to true momentary muscular failure. I was giving incredible effort in the gym, but I continue to find that whole next level that I'm capable of achieving. And like, for example, the leg extension, the leg press, when you get to the point, especially if you're doing higher repetitions there, you're feeling that burning sensation in your legs. It's just on fire. You want to stop because of that burning sensation, yet your muscles can still do more work. How can you flip that switch in your mind, going to your happy place and really push through that burn? For myself personally, like that's sign, like that's where you hear Arnold Schwarzenegger and other guys, that's where the gains are made. That's where progress is made, is during that time when you're working through that burning sensation in a safe manner. You're not going to, again, David Goggins it, where you're going to let that leg press fall on top of you, collapse, and send you to the hospital or anything like that, but pushing through it beyond that point where you normally stop that exercise. So really learning to mentally overcome those challenges. Don't allow your mind to stop you before your body can, before your body has potential to do a bit more there. Other lessons from David Goggins is that you're going to experience setbacks. Like, life is going to kick you in the ass. How are you going to overcome those setbacks? Are you going to dwell on them, dwell on the problem, throw in the towel, like just tell yourself, here I go again. Every time things go well for me, something happens and I'm never going to achieve my goals. No, you got to find ways, like focus on the solution. All right. You can't control what just happened. You can't control the setback, but you can learn from that experience so it can carry you forward. Next time you face this setback, how can you improve upon it? What can you do differently? Maybe the setback is a bit of an injury there. How can you work around that injury? How can you turn it into a positive? How can you turn this into an opportunity? Maybe you injure your knee. You can't do any kind of leg training. You can work on your upper body. You can do other leg exercises. Maybe you can't squat or leg press or do anything like that, but you can probably still do like some inner thigh exercises, maybe even a calf press. You can probably still there's probably likely exercises that you can still do for your legs without aggravating the injury. And again, definitely doing some sort of specialized upper body training, or vice versa if you have an upper body injury. There's all kinds of different setbacks that you're going to face throughout this journey. Life's going to kick you in the ass. Maybe something happens in life that's going to take you away from the gym. We've talked about this in recent videos. And how are you going to accommodate that? How are you going to still push forward through this, persevere through this challenge that you're faced with? Another thing, lesson from David Goggins, is that people will try to drag you down. There's going to be, we've talked about this in many videos, you start losing weight, people are going to say, are you okay? Are you sick? What's wrong with you? Meanwhile, you're doing something that is good for you, that's going to move you closer and closer to even better health. Yet they're trying to talk you down for that. And there's many other different ways that people will go about this. Sometimes it's subconsciously, sometimes it's just they're just not feeling good about themselves, and that they're struggling to achieve their goals. They don't want to see you achieving yours yourself. So how do you deal with that? And one of the big things is like surrounding yourself with a core group of people who are supportive of your goals, who want to bring out the best in you. And you want to bring out the best in them as well. You want to have that cheering squad, like-minded people, goal-driven people who want to live their lives to the fullest. Maybe it's belonging to a community like the Jacked at 40 Club, where we are always sharing our goals, sharing our challenges. Like, there's some deep challenges that were shared earlier this morning, and we talk through it. We share our own personal experiences, making each other know like we're not alone, and it's not a pity party. We're not there to like feel bad for the other person and just continue to talk about what's wrong. We're like solution focused and trying to bring them back up again and keep them moving forward in the right direction, seeing the opportunity there. So those are some great lessons from David Goggins. Again, the not extreme version of David Goggins, but just lessons that we are capable of so much more. We will be kicked in the ass. What can we do to overcome it and to surround ourselves with people that are going to bring out the best of us? Now, when it comes to Viktor Frankl, man's search for meaning. Again, the meaning of, not just the meaning of life, but the meaning in your goals that you're achieving. And meaning not just in an end goal, but because it's going to be different. Goals are going to be different. Meaning is why we're achieving our fat loss goal. It's going to have a different meaning to each and every one of us. And even for each individual, that meaning is going to change from moment to moment to moment. I just look at my goals in life. I mean, I've been at this for a long time. It's basically been my lifestyle for a long time, but getting into weight training at the age of 13, the meaning behind me working out and eating well was to improve my athletic performance. As small guy, 5 foot tall, like barely 100 pounds, playing against guys who are like 6'5", 250 pounds and bouncing off them on the ice. So I wanted to work out to build a stronger foundation there. Then the girls started taking notice. I'm like, all right, now I'm working out. I want to work out and stay fit here because I'm noticing how it's attracting some attention from the girls there. And then I became just fascinated with the potential of the human body. And that led me to pursuing an education in human kinetics and really learning more about how the body works and how it can continue to improve upon my physique. And as we talked about with David Goggins, they're like, life kicked me in the ass. Stress of owning a business, raising a young family, gaining 50 pounds of fat, and struggling to lose that fat for several years there. And then finally at the age of 35, looking in the mirror, catching a glance of myself in the mirror there when I'm walking out of the shower, I go, what the hell just happened? Like this, what I'm seeing in the mirror is not congruent with who I am. So my goal at that point, the meaning of taking charge of my life, was to get back to thriving, to feel like myself again, feel like I had always most of my life until I gained that 50 pounds of fat in my mid to late 20s there. So really reclaiming my energy, reclaiming my health, and my vibrant energy each and every day. And then after that, achieving that goal, plus it was like, at that point, I made that goal public. I shared it on Facebook, and I was documenting my journey there. So I didn't want people to see that here I am, again, a physique coach. This is where I'm at. Life kicked me in the ass. I set this goal, give myself 6-pack abs for my 36th birthday, documented it for over 8 months there. And every week I wanted people to see I was making progress there. So it was that meaning of wanting to look like I could achieve this and to set the example for others at the same time, to be a positive role model for my kids, and just seeing how that did actually pan out. Like both my kids are into the weight training. My daughter, seeing her, it's not about being skinny or anything. Like, her goal is to be jacked and strong. Like, she's kicking ass in the gym there, doing a deadlift. She's just getting into it for the into the gym scene for the past, like, not even 6 months. So, and she's already deadlifting 185 pounds for reps and just kicking ass. Absolutely love seeing that. So being a role model was great for me during that time, but also, again, showing people, giving them a blueprint to follow as I was journaling my progress through that transformation of losing that 50 pounds. Afterwards, going through a muscle building phase. At that point, I'm like, all right, now I want to build myself back up. I gained 30 pounds during that muscle building phase. Everyone was saying, eat big. Went through that cutting phase, and that cutting phase, the meaning behind that was I was competing in a bodybuilding contest. I entered my very first bodybuilding contest. I'm like, that gave me meaning. I was starting to view my body as a work of art, my training as an art form, and I viewed the stage as an art gallery. So it really had a lot of meaning to me, an artistic meaning to me to get up there. Plus, I didn't want to, like, when I set that goal, paid for the contest and everything, like, I didn't want to look foolish on stage. I wanted to truly be at my best and present my best on stage, which meant taking a smart approach to my training, not like you see a lot of other bodybuilders beating themselves down and really being very, like, depriving themselves with their nutrition. So I wanted to look alive and vibrant on the stage there. So that offered some meaning there. And then after that, it was a few years of going through muscle building phases and cutting phases and using photo shoots. Again, that whole art theme that really resonated with me. And then the final time I went through a 20-pound fat loss phase there, it was doing it with my workout partner, Mike. And it was just that shared experience that brought the camaraderie. We really added a whole lot of meaning to that process there. We were building each other up. And again, we both have maintained that weight loss since then, like staying within striking distance, like about 5 to 8 pounds of our ideal body weight, ideal level of leanness ever since. That's 6 years ago that we achieved that. And since then, my goal has been more moment to moment to moment. And that goal has been thriving, to feel alive, to live my life to the fullest, to be able to give the best of myself to all that I'm doing throughout the day. So when I'm having a meal, I'm thinking to myself, like, why am I having this meal right now? And it's to fuel my body. So I may have like some veggies and like quality, whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods because I know it's going to allow me to feel my best and perform my best. And then when I'm go to the local coffee shop and having a fresh baked brownie or coffee cake, something like, just doing it because I love the flavor. I love the taste. There's something so satisfying about it. And because I don't have it all of the time, it adds extra value to it. I'm like really savoring every bite of it. Like really savoring that experience is, again, that adds meaning to my day, to that meal there. Just really enjoying the texture of it, the flavor of it, not just eating it for the sake of eating it, not mindlessly eating it. So many different things that I am finding more meaning from moment to moment in all that I'm doing. And if I'm going to do something, I want to give the best of myself to it. I want to express the best version of myself in each moment. So that's really how meaning has changed throughout the years, and it's going to continue to change as I'm going through this lifestyle, through this journey here. Other lessons from Viktor Frankl is just there's suffering, again, as I was kind of talking about with David Goggins there, finding meaning through suffering, like knowing it's going to be a challenge, knowing you are going to experience some hunger, know you're going to experience that burning sensation through some exercises, and the meaning, your goal is to triumph over that suffering. You're using it as a goal. I want to feel victorious. Like, yeah, I'm going to suffer, but I'm going to overcome that. And that is a victory in itself. That's what drives you there. Yeah, bring it on. Like for me personally, when I experience a setback, when I'm suffering a little bit, I'm like, I get excited for it because it's a challenge that's going to allow me to show me what I'm made of. And then the last thing from Viktor Frankl is just hope. Being hopeful that you will achieve your goal. Like I said, it took me many times, many attempts before I was actually able to lose that 50 pounds. And just looking at how I've learned and grown throughout the process of going through bulking and cutting phases and finding my sweet spot here where I've been at for the past 6 years, and how I still continue to improve upon my nutrition, improve upon my training. It doesn't happen overnight, and there is no end goal. So just be hopeful that even if it doesn't go as planned for you, know that that's basically been the case for every single one of us, and you're on the right path. And looking for role models that you can kind of model yourself after, and give you hope. They've been in a similar situation as you. If they can do it, you can too. There's people who have achieved incredible transformations who have had way greater hardships than you and I ever will. So kind of using them as an examples for what is possible for you, and just giving you hope that you will too one day achieve your goal, and just taking those steps each and every day towards them. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you've gained a little bit of motivation from today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback. I would love to hear from you. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.